The war that began in 1939 quickly engulfed all of Europe. From 1940 onward, Nazi Germany invaded Poland, Norway, Denmark, Belgium, and France through blitzkrieg tactics. The Nazis ruled the continent with an iron fist. Paris fell. London was bombed. As millions lived under oppression, Europe was plunged into darkness. Western Europe was now under Hitler's control. By 1944, the Soviets were advancing at great cost on the Eastern Front. Opening a second front in the West was essential. Churchill and Roosevelt knew that Germany had to be surrounded. A landing in France became the only hope for liberating Europe. Operation Overlord was the most complex military operation in modern history. Under General Eisenhower's leadership, thousands of soldiers, engineers, and intelligence officers worked for months. Deception plans were created. Operation Bodyguard misled the enemy. The real target? Normandy. Britain turned into a giant military base. Troops, weapons, and armored vehicles gathered near the coast. Pilots gathered intelligence using aerial photos, while infantry trained day and night. Every detail was planned. Only one thing remained uncertain. When would the Germans realize? The Normandy coast was divided into 5 sectors: Utah and Omaha for the Americans, Gold and Sword for the British, and Juno for the Canadians. Each beach had its own terrain and obstacles, but the mission was the same: get past the beaches and move inland. Hitler expected an invasion from the west. He built the Atlantic Wall, a massive line of coastal defenses. Rommel fortified the shores with barbed wire, tank traps, and machine gun nests. For the Germans, this line had to be impenetrable. On the night of June 5th, thousands of paratroopers were dropped behind enemy lines. Their mission: seize bridges, block roads, and confuse German forces. This nighttime assault would determine the fate of the landing. At dawn, thousands of landing crafts crossed the English Channel and reached the beaches of Normandy. The skies filled with bombers, and the sea roared with naval fire. The largest amphibious assault in history had begun. For American troops, Omaha Beach was hell on earth. German machine guns tore through the ranks. The beach was lined with mines and obstacles. With no cover, soldiers charged straight into death. Yet inch by inch, they pushed forward through blood and fire. American troops landed 2 kilometers south of their planned location. The mistake could have been fatal. But General Roosevelt Jr. assessed the situation and famously said, "We'll start the war from here." His quick decision turned error into advantage. Canadian troops at Juno faced intense German resistance. British forces pushed forward with tanks at Gold and Sword. Each beach saw fierce fighting. But together, they fought for a common goal: to end Nazi occupation. Allied warplanes bombarded German positions as naval ships shelled the coast. The skies turned to smoke, the sea to fire. This air and sea support gave the troops on the ground the chance to survive and win. After hours of fierce battle, German defenses began to crumble. Minefields were cleared, machine gun nests were destroyed, and the first line of defense collapsed. Roads leading inland started to open. Allied troops pushed through villages, fields, and the deadly bocage terrain. Every hedgerow could hide an ambush. As German forces retreated, resistance grew fiercer. But the Allies moved forward, step by step. British paratroopers captured Pegasus Bridge and key crossings. Their success blocked German reinforcements from reaching the beaches. This quiet but critical victory helped secure the invasion. French villagers gave Allied troops food, water, and information. Resistance groups sabotaged trains and cut communication lines. The war was not won by soldiers alone, but with the courage of silent heroes. German commanders hesitated, unsure if the landings were real or a decoy. Hitler was asleep. Rommel was away from the front. Panzer divisions waited for orders that came too late. That hesitation allowed the Allies to take hold. By evening on June 6th, Utah, Gold, and Sword were fully under Allied control. Most of Omaha was secured. Field hospitals were set up, and supply lines established. The first phase of the invasion had succeeded. The Normandy landings opened a new front in Western Europe. Over 150,000 troops had landed. Germany now faced war on two sides. The road to liberation had begun. Normandy is more than a battlefield. It is a symbol of freedom, sacrifice, and rebirth. Today, as waves crash gently on those beaches, white crosses remind us of the price of peace. Here, history changed course.